Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, and I don't know what band I have now, so who am I with?
You already got the first half of it correct, so you're already on the right track.
I know, right?
My name's Dallin, and the name of the band is I Don't Know How, but They Found Me.
I like
It's a mouthful, I understand.
I like that, though.
It's 7 words, 7 syllables, maybe 8, I don't know, I lose count too. So I understand, it's confusing. It's a terrible business choice.
Well, not really, because I think everybody doesn't realize all the band names have been taken by now.
Yeah, that was it. Like, this was the only one left, so I really didn't have a choice.
And you got to figure in Google, too. So, like, anybody Googling that, all they're going to find is you.
Yeah, well, it's a quote from Back to the Future, which is one of my favorite movies, has been since I was a kid. And then this band was a secret project that I was doing for the first, year or so. I was in a different band, a more popular band, and decided to start doing this in secret. And would just book shows and dive bars under this ridiculous band name. And then people started to get on board with it, and it became too late to change. So now I'm just stuck with it. But band names are always terrible.
I would show up for that band name, though.
But when you think about the nature...
If you have enough balls to do that long of a band name, you must be good.
Yeah, you just kind of have to embrace the nature of the ridiculousness of band names. Like, they're all bad. The Beatles, best band ever. Their band name is a pun. That's terrible. It's terrible. But they're the Beatles.
And Ringo's here today.
It's incredible, yeah.
And who named Ringo?
I think Ringo got to choose for himself, and he chose well.
He did.
Mr. Starkey chose well.
He did. He's the reason I started playing drums. He's not the reason I sucked at it. He's just the reason I started playing drums.
That's good as a reason as any. The Beatles are why I picked up a guitar finally when I was 15.
Okay, so I have a trivia question for you then.
Hit me.
I love that you said that. Who is one of the greatest known bassists that was not a bassist?
A bassist that was not a bassist? Well, you're probably talking about Paul McCartney because he didn't start there. He
drew the short straw.
Yeah. He said, well, I guess I'll do it.
Exactly.
And thank God that he did, because, my God, what a clever bass player.
After I learned that, then, because I was a Beatles freak from a little kid, and after I learned that, I started listening to Beatles songs differently. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, holy shit, he plays the bass like a guitar. And I'd never noticed before I actually knew.
Yeah, it was the 90s when the Beatles anthology hit the airwaves on TV. And I was learning guitar at the same time. So I was simultaneously falling in love with those two things at the same time, playing guitar and learning about the Beatles. And I was obsessed, and I had to have the haircuts, and if it was from the 60s, especially from England, I was all about it, and if it wasn't from that era, it was garbage, of course. And,
right.
So there's that period of time where it was the Beatles was the end and the beginning for me.
Well, you know what's amazing about the Beatles is they started off very simplistic, and they became very complex musically.
I think it was all by necessity, too. You watch the interviews about them playing places like Shea Stadium, and as culturally impactful as that moment was, they couldn't hear what they were doing.
Yeah.
And so they stopped playing live and became a studio band. And it was born out of necessity, because they were a great live band all those years in Hamburg and playing for 8 hours at a time. But touring as the Beatles, it was stand on stage and be screamed at for an hour or 20 minutes or whatever a headlining set was back then.
Yeah, exactly. Like Shea Stadium, like you said, that was insane.
They definitely were not equipped to have people hear what they were doing. That sound system didn't exist yet.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So, what story, good or bad, in this whole musical journey is one that you're going to talk about when you're 80?
Oh, man. Well, the bad ones are easy to bring up. They're easier to remember than the good ones, but I wish that wasn't the case.
True.
But you always remember the time that goes wrong. You kind of have to sit and ruminate and think about for a little bit all of the good ones. But ultimately, the good ones and those good moments make all of the bad moments worth it. So it's a trade-off, really.
You need the bad with the good.
Yeah.
Is there anything that sticks out in your mind at all that, you're like, oh, either good or bad, you're like, oh, man, I never expected that moment, or...
plenty of unexpected moments, especially at festivals and places like this where you're walking in to play for groups of people who aren't necessarily your audience. You
Yeah.
got to put in some work and win some people over. And when it happens, that's a really great feeling. There's nothing that compares to that.
That is pretty cool when you do go in with these expectations of like, oh, who's going to like my music here? I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're out there singing the shit back to you. And you're like, how did that happen?
I don't think it's something that you should concern yourself with too much, because you have to, when it comes to the art you're making, you got to please yourself first.
Totally.
And if anybody else happens to like what you're doing, that's just an awesome bonus that you get to enjoy.
I think you hit the nail on the head, because that's when you get your following, because you're being authentic. You can't please everybody, so why bother making art to please others? It's never going to be as good as what you're going to do to please
what
yourself.
What you're saying reminds me of this great David Bowie interview that I think he did 20, 30 years ago. He was talking about how you should never play to the gallery, never give people what you think they want. You tend to do your worst work that way. Instead, go further out into the water than you're comfortable. And when your toes are barely touching the ground, then you're just about in a good place to make something interesting.
I love that, because you look at somebody like David Bowie, he definitely went outside the zone of what anybody would in his time.
Yeah, playing to the gallery was not something he was ever concerned with.
And look at the icon he has become forever.
And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You make the art you want to make, and people will get on board with it or they won't. And even if they don't get on board with it, at least you made the thing that you wanted to make.
And you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be nothing more miserable than making music that you don't enjoy and having to play it live.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. There are some people who sign up to be the flavor of the month, and they have their huge hit or their 5 years in the spotlight, or they're the biggest thing in the world. And if that's what you're after, if that's what you're chasing, God bless you. But yeah, you've got to go up there every night and play your hit. And if it's not a hit that you enjoy, that's got to suck, man.
Right?
Yeah.
There's this band that plays at the festival next week. I don't think they are. Maybe they are this year. But there's one song that's like one of their most popular songs. That's a cover song of an artist that in that genre probably wouldn't be so popular, but it is a really good version. And you can tell that they hate the fact when they're on stage, they have to play that song.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man, because this is supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, you got to change something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's a good point right there, what you said. If it's not fun, change it, because the rest of the business is not fun.
Yeah.
So why should the good part be not fun?
Everything surrounding the good part is just miserable.
Right. So you need the good part. Yeah. Otherwise, why are you here?
Exactly.
You know? When did that first moment happen in your life when you knew this was what you had to do?
Oh, man, I had to be 21 or 22, I think. I had a local band in Salt Lake City that we were just getting started, and I think we had played maybe three shows, and then this fourth show that we played, people came who weren't related to us or weren't our coworkers. It was the first time that people had heard about our band and came to see our band. We didn't know these people, and it filled up this tiny little club. And the show went great, and it was actual people who were just here for the music that we were making. And I was like, okay, I have to do this forever now. That was it. Yeah.
I love that, because it's a great feeling, right? The minute people you've never seen in your life are there
my
for
my
you.
favorite moment is the dudes who are in the crowd that had their arms folded with their sullen faces that are like, okay, who's this clown? Show me what you got, guy. And if you can get those arms unfolded and get that guy on board, that's my favorite thing to do.
You know what? I feel the same way about what I do, because you do have that, because, listen, this is the job of an artist. So, again, it goes on that outside of the fun part usually.
Yeah.
And so they'll walk around this tent, do 30 interviews, same stupid questions that they've answered a million times. They come over to you, and they have this look on their face, and they have this,
all right, let's do those same 5 questions, pal.
Right? And the minute you could get them to, start slouching and, get comfortable.
Is that what I'm doing right now? I'm a little slouchy.
There you go. You can tell, and the look on their face changes. It's boom. Because you know what? Talk to them what they're passionate about, not what is on your script.
Yeah. It's questions like, what does this song mean? Or what does that lyric mean? Those questions like that are so
And you can probably Google
I would
it.
much rather talk about like how we made the song or how we made something, rather than like what the meaning is, because art's meaning is always so interpretive and individualistic and subjective, and there's no objective way to really explain your art, because you might have one idea and the person listening might have a completely different.
And why influence it? Like, some of the best songs were written on what the artist was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
But every person listening puts their own feeling to it and their own meaning to it. And I'd rather keep it that way.
Yeah.
Because if you try to change it, then I think it changes their viewpoint
It might
on the
disconnect
song.
them from the bit of art that you made. So
Exactly.
yeah, that makes sense.
100%. And so what you guys got going on after Bourbon and Beyond?
We're heading back to Salt Lake City, where I live at right now, but we've got a couple more shows along the way. It's just a quick little run to get us here and back. So yeah, just out for like a week.
Nice.
So yeah.
And how do you feel that Danny Wimmer treats artists so far of your experience here at Bourbon and Beyond?
I'm assuming that Danny Wimmer is the guy running this joint?
He's the one that runs Danny Wimmer Presents Bourbon and Beyond.
So is he Mr. Bourbon or Mr. Beyond? Which one do we refer to?
I think he's both.
I sure am grateful he's putting this thing on. It's wonderful to be here. I'm excited to play.
Nice. And have you got to look around at the venue at all?
Not yet. I just woke up a little bit ago and came straight over here.
Nice. Well, you got to check it out.
I absolutely will.
And I guarantee you're going to love this festival, because we're going to love you.
Well, no peer pressure.
None at all. It's just a synergistic relationship here.
Well, I thank you for having us.
Hey, I thank you for being here at Bourbon and Beyond. Tell everybody how they can reach out to you on socials, on the web, buy your merch, get your music, all that stuff.
Well, the merch buying, that's the important bit. That's really why I do this, to sell T-shirts.
I know, right? But I tell them that they can't listen to my show unless they buy your merch, because I don't want you to promote it, but you can't get to the next gig without it.
Well, yeah, the band name is a little long, so if you're into the whole brevity thing, then IDKHOW, you'll be able to find us on socials using those letters, IDKHOW.
Wait, I don't know how I'm supposed to find you now.
That's the new band name. Just changed it right now.
Nice. Well, thanks a lot for being here, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.